Today, we are going to be building a complete, real-time Kafka messaging system from the ground up using Spring Boot. By the end of this setup, you will be able to send a custom web request through your browser and see that exact message instantly processed and logged in your developer console. To follow along, you need Zookeeper and Kafka installed directly on your local machine. We are keeping things strictly local for this build, which means you do not need Docker. Validating this closed, localized loop proves your basic architecture works. It is a mandatory first step before you attempt to handle distributed event streaming across multiple production servers. Let's start the project initialization. Head over to Spring Initializer and generate a new project. Add exactly 2 dependencies to get started, Spring Web and Spring for Apache Kafka. Next, we need a data entry point. Create a REST controller class with a GET mapping. This mapping will capture a URL request parameter and accept the string message a user sends. Now we build the transmission service. Create a producer service class and add the @service annotation. This registers the class as a Spring Bean, so the framework can manage it. This flowchart illustrates how data actually moves from our application to the broker. We use an interface called KafkaTemplate and auto-wire it into our producer service. It takes 2 parameters, the destination topic name and the message payload itself. With the template ready, we link our controller to the producer. We inject the producer service into the REST controller, passing the user's string directly into the internal send method. The combination of the controller and the service establishes a secure, direct pipeline. We now have a clear path for external user input to enter our internal event stream. To read the data we just sent, we need a listening service. Create a consumer service class with a simple method designed to take an incoming string and print it to the console. To make this method listen to the broker, apply the @KafkaListener annotation. You must specify the target topic here. It has to perfectly match the exact topic name configured in your producer. Inside that same listener annotation, you also need to define a groupId. As you can see in this diagram showing a single data channel splitting into 3 parallel tracks, Kafka topics are divided internally into partitions. The groupId organizes multiple consumer nodes so they share the workload. Instead of 3 consumers hitting a single partition for data, the stream divides equally, assigning specific partitions to specific nodes. A specific groupId ensures your application coordinates with others, allowing them to split the workload and process data much more efficiently. Now we need to map our application to the local server infrastructure. In your project's main resources directory, create a new file named application.yaml. Inside this file, set the Bootstrap servers property. This binds our Spring Boot application to the local Kafka server on default port 9092. Below the port settings, configure both the key and value serializers for the producer to use the standard string serializer class provided by Kafka. This diagram shows why this step is required. Kafka brokers do not read text. They operate exclusively on raw bytes. Your human-readable strings must pass through a serialization filter to become binary code before they can enter the network. These specific configuration properties act as the critical translation layer. They sit directly between your high-level application logic and the low-level network transmission. Let's run the Spring Boot application right now and check the console. You will immediately see a connection refused exception. This crash happens because the application is trying to connect to port 9092, but we have no active local broker infrastructure running to receive that connection. To fix this, we have to start our servers. Open your local Kafka extraction folder in the command prompt, navigate to the bin directory, and execute the Zookeeper startup script first. Once Zookeeper is running, open a completely separate terminal window. Navigate to that exact same directory and execute the Kafka server startup script. Kafka relies on Zookeeper's underlying architecture to coordinate the cluster and manage broker health before it can process a single message. With both servers active, restart your Spring Boot application. This time, the console logs will show a successful connection, confirming that your consumer has joined the groupId we configured earlier. Now for the final execution. Open your web browser, navigate to your local host REST endpoint. Append a custom string message to the end of the URL and hit Enter. Switch back to your IDE. Down in the local console output, you will see your custom message appear instantaneously. This block diagram traces the exact sequence that just occurred. Your browser sent a client GET request to the REST API. The API handed it to the producer pushed it to the Kafka topic, and the consumer pulled it down. Mastering this local setup confirms that your basic logic for producing and consuming messages is sound, providing the functional foundation you can now apply to more complex event-driven projects.